Thank you for joining me on Did You Know That? This is Jerry, and first I just want to remind you that this is Sunday and it's the beginning of daylight savings time, so don't forget to move your clocks forward an hour. And then it ends on November 1st, and we put the clock back an hour. So in the spring, we say, oh no, I lost an hour of sleep. Oh, I'm going to be tired all day. But then in the fall, we're going to say, I gained an hour of sleep. And you're going to pull those blankets up around your chin, and you're going to sink down a little further in the bed, and you're going to go, one more hour. This is too sweet. So if we lose an hour of sleep and we gain an hour of sleep, what have we lost? Or what have we gained? So let's talk about that. What does time mean to us? In Ephesians 5, verses 15 through 16, it talks about redeeming the time. It says, "See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil." I don't think anybody can turn on their TV or their computer or just go outside and walk around a little bit and not know that the days are evil. I'm old, and I've never seen anything like this before. Colossians 4 and verse 5 says this, "Walk in wisdom toward them that are without, redeeming the time." So God's making a point here. Time is important, and it's something that we should treat as being valuable and redeemable. So how do you redeem time? Well, I don't know about that hour you lose. The only way I can see that you could possibly redeem that is just not to waste it in the first place. Understand that we're only given so many seconds, hours, days, and years to live. And there's a lot of good, interesting, exciting things that we can do, and do it all in the Lord. And so we should move in closer to the Lord so that He can talk to us, so that He can show us what these things are. In Ecclesiastes chapter 3, we're going to read the whole chapter. It's a great chapter. And this is what it says, and this is in the King James Version. "To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born." Were you born? I'm going to make the assumption that I'm not talking to anybody who's from an alien planet. "And a time to die." Now, sometimes I upset people because I talk about death and I even laugh about it. But I figure none of us are going to get out of this thing alive. And I'm too old to die young. And so with those two things in my little tool chest, I'm not going to cry about it. I'm not going to worry about it. So let's go on here. A time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which was planted. A time to kill, and a time to heal. A time to break down, and a time to build up. A time to weep, and a time to laugh. A time to mourn, and a time to dance. Some people never stop mourning. Something terrible happens. I'm not speaking against that. And they feel that they can never smile or laugh again. But you are allowed to be happy again. God will heal your heart, and He will give you laughter. And so don't feel that you have to be unhappy and sad all your life. A time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together. a time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing. Now, you ever see people, they're just always hugging and kissing on each other, and you go, oh, quit it. A time to get and a time to lose. We've all gotten and we've all lost something. A time to keep and a time to cast away. Now, if you've always lived in the same place your whole life, you might have saved a whole bunch of stuff. But now my husband and I moved 18 times during our married life. He's gone now. But you find that if you have to move something, you go, I don't need that. I don't even know why I have it. I don't know where it came from. But there's a time when we cast things away. A time to rend, which means to tear, and a time to sow. A time to keep silent and a time to speak. Oh, if we could just all learn what these things are, especially that one, we could save ourselves and those around us so much trouble. Remember that one, a time to keep silent and a time to speak. If we can just get that right, if we don't speak when we're supposed to be silent and we don't keep silent when we're supposed to speak, oh, how wonderful life would be. A time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace. What profit hath he that worketh in that wherein he laboureth? I have seen the travail which God has given to the sons of men to be exercised in it. He hath made everything beautiful in his time. Also he has set the world in their heart, so that no man can find out the work that God maketh from the beginning to the end. I love all the mysteries that God has. And when he reveals something to us, it's so wonderful. There's several evangelists that I like to follow, and they've always got a code for something, and they're always figuring things out. And I admire them because they get in there and they work. That's their life's work. And they go, oh, this nugget is pure gold. I'm going to share it with all the people that listen to me. And they're awesome. And so there's a time for all of that. I know that whatsoever God doeth. I think I got ahead myself. And enjoy the good gift of a man should enjoy the good gift of his labor. It is the gift of God. We're now in verse 14, in case I've thoroughly confused you. I know that whatsoever God doeth, it shall be forever. Nothing can be put to it, and not anything can be taken from it. And God doeth it, that men should fear before him. That which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been. And God requireth that which is past. And moreover I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. And I said in my heart, God shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time there for every purpose and for every work. I said in my heart concerning the estate of the sons of men, that God might manifest them, and that they might see that they themselves are beasts. Now I'm saying beast, B-E-A-S-T. For that which befalleth the sons of men befalleth beasts. Even one thing befalleth them. As one dieth, so dieth the other. So man and beast die. Yea, they all have one breath, so that a man hath no preeminence above a beast. For all is vanity. All go into one place, all are of the dust, and all shall return to dust again. Who knoweth the spirit of man that goes upward, and the spirit of the beast that goes downward to the earth? Wherefore I perceive that there is nothing better than that a man should rejoice in his own works, for that is his portion. For who shall bring him to see what shall be after him? Now, there's only a couple places that talk about people coming back. One is in the Old Testament, where a prophet was buried, and for some reason they dumped somebody's body in on top of him, and that person sprang back alive because it was still the power of God in that prophet's bones. As I think it said, there's only the bones of the prophet there. The other place that I remember is that when Christ arose, many people arose from the dead, and they went into Jerusalem, and they were seen by many. Outside of that, I haven't ever seen that somebody comes back and says, hey, you can't do that, that's mine. No. When you're gone, it becomes somebody else's. Hebrews 9:24 through 28 says, for Christ is not entered into the holy places made with hands, which are the figures of the true, but into heaven itself, now to appear in the presence of God for us. Nor yet that he should offer himself often, as the high priest entereth into the holy place every year with the blood of others. For then he must often have suffered since the foundation of the world. But now, once in the end of the world, hath he appeared to put away sin by the sacrifice of himself. And as it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this the judgment, so Christ was once offered to bear the sins of many. And unto them that look for him shall he appear the second time without sin unto salvation. We have a special allotment of time, and we are to live in that time, and we are to do God's will in that time. And that is our time to be here. So we need to be thinking about that. We need to be asking God, what manner of spirit am I? What do you want me to do? How shall I live for you? How shall my life count for you? Let us redeem the time and use it wisely, because how we use it doesn't just affect us. It affects everybody around us. Well, God bless you. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to know when I do other videos, just press the subscribe button and ring the bell, and you'll be notified whenever I put out new videos. God bless you. And again, don't forget to turn your clocks forward. Bye now.